Hello, my friend. I know it's been a while. I just thought I'd jump on and just share some things that I've been thinking about. This is my outlet because I get to talk into this microphone and just share thoughts. So hopefully you're doing well. I miss just sharing. And I've been obsessed actually with the whole primetime Deon Sanders effect that's happening. I have been obsessed. I can wholeheartedly admit that. If you are on Threads and if you're connected to me, you will see that because that's my little sneaky little outlet where I just share thoughts. It has no structure. It has no purpose. I just on there, right? And I'm using the podcast as another outlet. But I've been obsessed with what he's doing. And if you don't know who Deon Sanders is, you have probably been living under a rock, even if you don't know exactly what he does or you heard the name. And so there's a lot of lessons, I believe, that we can all take from Deon Sanders. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. And these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking as well. You can respond to me on Spotify or wherever you're listening to this at. I would be interested to hear. But I guess first, where he was at Jackson State. So if you don't know, he is head coach currently for the Colorado Buffaloes in Denver, Colorado, I believe. Previously, he was with Jackson State in Mississippi. And so he started to gain some traction. And by that, I mean awareness of him being a former NFL Hall of Famer football player. He also played baseball and did really well with both professions, both sports. And now for that NFL Hall of Famer to now be head coach for a college team, that in and of itself is a great feat, right? And so he went to Jackson State, HBCU, right? Really, I'm not going to say not on the map, but not a lot of attention around this particular place, right? And so with him being there was attention because of that fact. There were a lot of things that were also brought to the forefront because of the fact that he was there. For instance, there was a water crisis there. There were bad living conditions. I don't know if that was due to the water. I don't want to misspeak, but just from what I read and saw online and news and all of that, right? So, uniforms, equipment, old equipment, just things like that were brought to the forefront, right? And so I think if we're kind of making a list of the different things, because someone's there was there that had already, national attention just because of who he was. And then now, I guess I should say who he is and what he did, right? Being a football player and now being a head coach, he was able to bring attention to some things. All of it, he didn't bring light to, but because he was there, a spotlight was on that state, right? It was on that school. It was on those players. It was on him. So I look at that as, if I were to make like our first point is when you're walking in what it is that you've been called to do or something that you're passionate about. He played football all of his life. That's a skill set that he had. That's something that he did. He knew about it. He played. He was at the top of his game in doing so. All of us have a skill set in a certain area, a certain industry, a certain scope of work, body of work that we do. And I know, especially because you're listening, I know you're a high achiever and you're a high contributor and you perform at a high level. So when you're at the top of your game, you have a skill set that you can leverage, that you can use, and that you can use to bring awareness to certain things, right? And so I think that would be my first point. We kind of kicked this off in saying that we wanted to talk about some of the lessons that we can learn. And that's one of the things that I don't think that we tap into especially in our careers and the work that we do it kind of it becomes monotonous, it becomes repetitive, it becomes routine. Going to work, doing the work, going home, getting up, doing the work. We know our vacation, we know we're getting paid, we wait for the 1st and the 15th, we wait for our paychecks. It becomes a routine. We don't look for anything else out to get out of it other than the transaction. I do the work, you give me the money. I do the work, you give me the money. I do the work, you give me. We don't look for anything else. And I think that is a mistake, because when we don't look for anything else, we don't get anything else. And so as Deon did in Jackson State, he looked for the opportunity to bring awareness. They have bad water conditions. He didn't look for it. I shouldn't say look for it, but he leveraged his position to bring awareness, right? And so to make that school, that HBCU, known, and to put a spotlight on what is happening, what's going on. Now, regardless of what you think or how you feel about them, if you've already know about them, you cannot deny that because he was there, the spotlight was on that. And so the same for your career and the skills that you have, because you know what you know, you have knowledge of what you know. How do you turn that into awareness? How do you turn that into something that you can leverage to catapult your career to the next level, right? So I would say that was kind of a stepping stone. You go in, you do what you know how to do already. You already have the skill set, you already have the experience and the knowledge, and you make it better. Are you making it better where you are, or are you just there because it's a transaction? And if you are, is that serving you? Is that serving you? Just something to think about, because I would venture to guess that although I know me and Deon has a passion for kids, he's taught pee-wee football or whatever you call it, his sons since they were itty bitty kids. So he has to have a passion around it. But I would venture to guess that he also knew that bringing awareness and having the spotlight on him, he had to do a darn good job. Not that he wouldn't have done a good job just normally, but I think he also has a goal and has an agenda for himself. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think everybody should. And if you do a good job here, then you can go to the next level, right? So same thing for you. So his next level was, there started to be speculation in the media about, is he going to stay? I think his contract came to an end. I don't know if they had him for 3 years or whatever it was. Is he going to stay? Is he going to renew the contract? Is he going to go somewhere else? There were other colleges and universities reaching out to him. Nothing got his attention, right? And so I think at one point he was like, no, I'm not leaving. Again, I'm just guessing. I don't know. But then he got a call from the athletic director from Colorado. And, the story goes, because I watched it, I told you I've been obsessed. And he was just saying how, he said, he wasn't trying to sell me on the idea. He would send me pictures. He would, he came and, met my family. And it wasn't a lot of talk about coming to Colorado. He would just share what's going on. And I would ask him questions. And here's the next thing I think we could take from that. When you're in position, and if you've been connected to me a while, you already know that I talk about this a lot, because this is what happened to me. Throughout my corporate career, I never, and I don't have any reason to lie about this, I didn't have to look for a job. I would get so many calls, and I even showed my inbox during one of my live sessions. If you're new to me, I do a live session every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. But a few years ago, I was just doing it inside of our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group, and you can search Kelly's Career Club for that. But I showed, if you're inside of Kelly's Career Club, go back and look at the videos. And on one of the videos, I showed my inbox. Now, this was a few years ago. And it had nothing in there but recruiters and hiring managers wanting to have a conversation. Now I come with receipts. I can back up what I'm saying. And it's only because I was in position. And I'll tell you, to this day, I don't get as many, if I'm being honest, but to this day, and I can show you today, as of today's date, October 3rd, 2023, in my Gmail, I have recruiters in there. Hey, I got a hold to your resume. I have this position open. The only reason why that happens is because I was in position. Deon has been in position that he got the call. The man flew out to him. The man sent him pictures. The man even had said, the athletic director said on camera, I don't know where we're going to get the money, but we're going to get the money. And this is $29.5 million. And guess what? He got the money. So as I wrap up, I just wanted to share that and to get you to think about being in position. You haven't spent all these years in your career, all the knowledge that you learned for what you do, just to have it just be a transaction every day. If it is no longer serving you, then that's a question I would ask myself. What am I getting out of this besides a paycheck? Well, Kelly, I need to pay my bills. I know. But if you live to just pay your bills, that's all you will be living for. Hardly go on vacations or, buy new stuff or do this for your kids, your nieces and nephews, your grandkids. There's other things I know you want. And I know you want more than just paying your bills. And I know that if you went to school, you didn't invest all that money and now you don't even make that what you invested. Something's upside down. It's time to position, and the time is now to position yourself in the market so that you are a magnet attracting what I know you want and what I know you deserve. Now, you can go to Expert Edge, the number 50, and you can connect with me there. And we can kick off a collaboration where we start to position you in the marketplace if anything I said today resonates with you. Again, it's expertedge50.com. And on there, you'll see how we help people with just the foundation. And the foundation is your professional documents. That's your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your cover letter. That's where we start to position you in the market. And I have strategically created an information session for you and I to collaborate on what it is that you want. What do you want to be known for? How do you want to position yourself in the market? What does that look like for you? If that interests you, I invite you to go to expertedge50.com, expertedge50.com. And these, the suites packages that I've created are specifically for those 50 years of age and older. So you'll see that on the site. And that's one of the reasons why I'm fascinated with Deon, because he's 56, I believe. Right. And so to think that you're too old, I know there's age discrimination and being told you're overqualified and being told that, you're not tech savvy enough and the younger people and all that. That's crap. That's crap. We don't have to start from scratch. We can have a renewed relevancy, but we have to take the action. We have to take the first step. All right. I wanted to share that with you. I just think it's fascinating. I'm super proud and super happy for Prime Time. And there's a lot to learn and glean from what he's doing. And it doesn't hurt at all that he's also a believer. And I think that's the pinnacle. That is that's a true testament of who this man is. All right, my friend, thanks so much for listening. I always appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to talking with you soon.